Okay guys, today I'm going to be I'm just going to be going through season 1 of lore of on my friend's server that we did, because I thought you might enjoy the story. So anyways, we're gonna rip through this like really fast, so feel free to rewatch parts of this video here, and I'm just gonna sit AFK while I read my notes, because yeah. So anyways, first day on the server, almost got murdered by one of the 3 most influential members. This guy called Swampy Spore, and like my friend Blue Magician. His YouTube is Blue Wizard 195. Go sub to him. Anyways, next day I died like 3 times because I started some fights, and then me and the Swampy Spore guy came to a truce after that, and then I also stole something of my Blue Magician's, which was a disc, and then he didn't really care about, next day apparently he didn't really care about the disc, and I went to go and try to kill him in his caves, but he knew the cave system a lot better than me, and he actually trapped me down there. And so then Swampy Spore came and dug me out, and then I went and battled the guy at Raid Village, as we named it. I don't think there was actually a sign there, but we just named that because the place is always in a raid, because it's also there on the other side of this mountain. There's like a pillager tower right there, so it was always under a raid, even if the guys weren't roaming around. But and I lost that battle, and then a couple days later I died to fall damage in the Nether, and then I ran in with like a stone sword and a crossbow, and I did manage to recover my stuff. I also had a stack of cobblestone, so I could kind of get back up to the portal, which is a lot higher than where I fell. Let's see here. Oh yes. Alright, and then I formed an alliance with my friend, and I showed him my bunker, and he showed me his skeleton spawner, so that we knew we were friends by showing these important locations. And I also got another netherite sword and pig step. And then like quite a few days later, my friend killed me on there. Yeah, so much for that kind of truce or something. I forget why he killed me, but he gave me a trident because he was sorry. I also got full diamond armor, and I made a deal to trade pig step disc to him for 3 mending books. And then yeah. Oh yeah. And that was kind of like over a few days, so I was kind of waiting because he said he was going to have it to me by certain days, so I was waiting for that. And he gave me the mending books, which was good, because I thought he was going to steal a pig step disc and run off, because there was a lot of blood on the server at that time, and well, there has been for the longest of times. And then the next day I was up on this tower, which in the second part of this thing I'll be showing off all the locations in here. I was kind of taunting him while crouching kind of on the very edge, but he had a good bow with punch 2, and so I got knocked off and fell, and since this tower was on a mountain and there was a cliff right behind it, I fell off the cliff and died, since I obviously had no feather falling floor or elytras, because this is quite early on. And then yeah, so then I died, and I went back down to retrieve my stuff, and I caught some things, but then a creeper blew me up, so, and then I went back down to get all my stuff, and the creeper was gone, so I was safe. And then I realized that my netherite sword had been blown up by a creeper. Yeah, that really sucked. And then the day after that, I started making a house in my friend's backyard, because yeah, we had a really good relationship back then. On the server, of course. And then a couple days later, I was attacked by Swampy Spore and his friend, the Sonic Mar guy. And they came and hid in my house, which is in my friend's backyard. And they did this because my friend hadn't paid his like diamonds he owed to this guy, because he had a lot of attachments back then, and it was kind of not safe because he tried to make deals with too many people, and when you have trying to keep that many people happy, it just don't work out. So yeah, I think I survived that though, because I don't think anybody was killed. And then a couple days later, a couple days later, my friend helped me complete a new diamond armor set because my old one was getting quite broken, and I managed to make it half of a netherite armor thing, and then my friend proclaimed that later that we were gonna fight the Ender Dragon soon. And so I was waiting for that, and then the next day I did a raid and got some totems, and I also bought some mending books, and then the day after that I got full netherite armor, made an ender chest. Alright. Oh, and then a couple days after that, we beat the Ender Dragon. It wasn't very ceremonial because it was quite fast, and I didn't really help much, so yeah. For me, it was kind of boring. Let's see. Sorry. Notes are weird. And then there was a little while after that the Swampy Spore and Sonic Mar guy had some beef with me, and I forget why I had a beef with them or something. But basically I had the better gear at that point because I had like full netherite and everything, and they just had some other stuff, and so I killed them both. And then after that, to kind of settle down all the stress, we kind of just had this battle arena we had finished pretty recently, and so then we had some battles in there. My friend had the stash of diamonds that he decided he was going to give it as prizes, so everybody was feeling pretty good after that. And then we also made a marketplace, or I think it was made even before I went on that day, kind of around the center, not right at spawn, but not far from it, like pretty close, with some stores and things. Sorry, thing was just going kind of blank from AFK. And so there was the most useful store, just my friends that sold rockets and elytras. And mending protection 4 books and elytras, and rockets, not elytras. It was really good. And then I started on the beginning of November. I started making a highway to the westwards from spawn. I originally planned to make it like 10,000 blocks long, but only got like 1,000 blocks long. And then oh yes, and then a little bit after that, then me and my friends started a mafia, which I called the Missing Skull. He called Order of the Mask. There's a few different names for it, but it was started because there was some new players that had been added in, and then suspected that some got griefed in the end that one of them was the one who griefed his thing, because he had this whole stash of diamond loot from going, because he had went and collected a bunch of elytras from the end. And so he went around and griefed a bunch of things. Or, no, he didn't. This other guy did. Well, not a lot of things, but my friend's castle, so he was moping around, so we started this mafia because of that reason. And he also griefed this barn thing, which I'll show you in the second part, which is an important location here. And yeah, so then that was started, and then a couple days later, that the grand hall and the secret base for it was looking pretty good because my friend was working on it. A couple days later, I broke my elytra looking for a desert temple. Not that super important. And after that, I was starting to make a L'Manberg, which is what I'm in right now. AFK in here. I'll show you more of it in the second video. All the locations if you want to watch that. And then, oh yeah, and then here comes the biggest war that ever happened, which on the server, and oh geez, that Enderman's staring at me now. So me and this other one of those new guys that joined around the time kind of when stuff got stolen was this guy called Wubby Mark. And so this guy kind of turned everything because there was this thing where they were interrogating him because he seemed the most likely. He did some suspicious thing, and he seemed to be the most likely suspect for the thief. And so as they were interrogating him, somewhere I went and blew up his house, and then everybody was angry at me for that, and then he set up a trap, so the next day he blew up my house, and then I went and blew up his house again, and then that kind of started an entire civil war, because you know how it is. And my friend and me had to escape after, it was a whole big kerfuffle though, because as I was trying to get away, then I was getting chased, and I just logged off, and that didn't help matters, because then I was spawn trapped, and my friend helped me get unspawn trapped, and then I barely made it out of there, and we both ran towards this L'Manberg place that wasn't even, I guess you could call it half finished, because nothing else sounds as good, but it wasn't even halfway done, honestly. And then they blew up my house even more, just as a statement that I was, like, kicked out of society. And they found the tunnel under my floor that led to the secret base, so yeah, so basically our whole mafia was discovered, and then the Enderman is just being such an annoying person. And so then, yeah, that happened, and then a couple days later, apparently when I wasn't on the server, apparently the leader of kind of the opposition called to surrender because he didn't want to fight anymore. And then I was kind of mad about that, so I had an argument with my friend and stuff, and that led to that the server was going to get restarted tomorrow, actually. So that's why I'm doing some Season 1 stuff here. And then I decided next day that I was going to be a peaceful person on that, and that L'Manberg was going to be a place for people to come and just, and live in peace. And, you know, after a bit all the walls were finished for it, and then I made a government building, and then today, since it's the last day of the server, then me and my friend there, it was just the two of us, kind of, we went around, took a tour, and had some nostalgia. Now I'm going to take you guys on a brief tour of some stuff too, and also talk about the couple factions that there were in the next video. And yes, then after the tour we came back to L'Manberg, I built this umbrella, as you can see out there, and he built this red dream thing that he lit on fire. Sorry, Dream. My friends just don't like you too much. And then we also had an epic duel, right, actually, in this little plane here, where we're looking at in between the blue thing, the blue and red thing out there, and this building that I'm in. Is where it happened, and it was a fun duel actually. It was really close because he thought I was getting really low, and then I actually managed to do it. It was first to pop a totem because we didn't want to actually fully kill each other. But yeah, so that's all the stuff that happened, and the next video we'll talk about all the lore, I'll show you all the locations and stuff, so see you in the next one. Oh, also about those FH5 videos, those are gonna come maybe later at the end of the week somewhere, so stay tuned.